Player 2 has joined the game.
All right, you want to get in the news of the week?
Yeah, we probably should.
It's funny. I thought the podcast would have lasted less than this. We're just now getting... There's not a lot of news, so this will be shorter than it normally is. Out this week, as you're watching this, it's already out. Modern Warfare Remastered actually is getting its own standalone release, and it's coming to, quote, PS4 first. No word on when it comes to PC or Xbone, which makes sense because Sony is getting, they've... Starting with a couple years ago, Activision switched from giving Xbox all the preferential Call of Duty treatment to giving it to PlayStation and DLC packs early and all that crap. So it doesn't surprise me. But the game's $40. You can buy Infinite Warfare for like $30 now. So you're selling a 10-year-old game that was part of last year's game for more than last year's. I don't agree with the
anything
price
extra included in it?
No, you don't get the map pack. You have to buy this $15 map pack separately.
Well, that's dumb.
It's dumb. I mean,
and you were saying you were going to get this if they ever released it.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be $20.
Yeah, it should.
$20. I would have already
with the map
probably
pack.
would have already beaten it. Yeah. So that's dumb. I mean, I know it's one of the best.
You could just buy Advanced Warfare for $30 and then
but
sell it
not
for
the
20.
Legacy Edition or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can get the Legacy Edition, I think, for $50, and then you get both games for $10 more.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. I think the price tag's horrible. I'm glad it got its own standalone release. I think they screwed up the price tag. This is one of those maybe a couple years from now when it is, I can get it used for $15, because they are doing retail releases also. So when I can get it used for $15, $20 somewhere, then I'm going to pick it up. Or if it's on a sale or something, I'll pick it up, because I love that game. I still say my favorite Call of Duty is the original Black Ops. And if that got an HD re-release, I'd be all over that because I love that story, love the game, love the Vietnam setting and everything. It's so good. Uncharted, what?
Just noticed the reminder.
Clean the cat litter. And it won't go away. Uncharted is continuing on. Of course it is, but I wanted to talk about it anyways. So the Lost Legacy director, I forget his name, but he's not Neil or Bruce because they've moved on. They're working on Last of Us Part 2. But the creative director for the Lost Legacy said in an interview, quote, "To say the Uncharted world is done, ... I doubt that highly." Basically what they're saying is they still have finished with Nate. And they said that from the beginning. But what I like about this is, and I kind of thought this is where they were going, that they never really said Uncharted was done. They said Nathan Drake's story is done. And if you play the game, you know it's done. Elfine, it's the end. But there's no... They basically went on to say, I don't have all the whole quote here, but they went on to say there's so many interesting characters in this world that you could do games with. I cannot wait to play Uncharted The Lost Legacy. I love Chloe as a character. Nadine's fine, but I would love to play as a young Sully or something like 30 years ago or something when the world's completely different, technology's different, all the other stuff. That'd be fun. I'd love to play as Nate's brother. I'd love to play as, Elaine, you can't really play as. More games with Chloe or whatever, fine by me, but.
Do you think there's any chance we get, if the rumors are true about the movie, that we get a young Drake game? I mean, Drake's story is done.
Drake's
We're
story
not going
is
any
done.
further with it.
See, I don't think so, because we've gotten the flashbacks before, like in Uncharted 3. That's what they're saying. They're basing the whole movie on. Which again, the more I think about that, I'm like, I don't care how good. And early reviews for Spider-Man, they can't really review it yet because the embargo doesn't break until I don't know when. They say it's amazing. Of course, another Marvel movie's great, awesome.
It's a conspiracy.
I will say I bet Wonder Woman charts higher on not Metacritic. What's it called?
Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
What's that at?
93 or 94 it ended up at.
Wow.
Amazing. So no, I think they are gonna. I mean, I could see 7-8 years from now they're like, never mind. Nate's still the man. Let's go back and reboot Uncharted, or remake the first Uncharted, which still even in the Legacy collection. It still doesn't control right. It doesn't control like 2, 3, and 4 do, and it's the monster closets are horrible in that. I'm happy. Like I said, I can't wait to play Lost Legacy, and I'm glad Uncharted's not going to die, even if Nate's story is done. Resident Evil 2 Remake. The voice actors are changing for Claire, Leon, and Ada Wong. It's all due to the voice actor strike that's going on. They haven't really made a big deal out of this, but they basically said they wanted to use non-union voice actors. I don't even know if the strike is still going on or if it was. I don't know. It hasn't been anywhere near as publicized.
Is this the second one? Didn't this happen
Yes.
a while ago, or is it still going on?
I don't know. There was the screenwriters strike all those years ago when it screwed up The Office.
Right, but then I thought they've already done a voice actors strike.
I think they did. I think this is the second one.
This is the second
but
one.
nobody's talking about it this time. Because obviously Troy Baker's not part of it. Ashley Johnson's not.
I was
going to
say there's only a few
Nolan North's not part of it.
people that you're gonna have a different Claire, different Leon, different.
This is what I wanted to ask you.
I don't care.
You don't? Okay.
I can't. I know Leon's voice from Resident Evil 4.
And I don't know if that was the same voice actor or not.
Well, I don't even know if there was one. Oh, he must have talked in Resident Evil 2. Yeah, because they were talking. In
Yeah,
Resident
the
Evil
horrible.
1. But yeah, that may have been it. But again, I don't know. I don't care. Pretty much those three you just said are the only people that if all of a sudden I heard Nolan North is not going to be in it anymore, or then I'd be like, well,
David Hayter.
Crap. But I mean, I get it. I get the strike thing, but I don't care.
Side note, just made me think because I said Big Boss. Kojima in an interview, he did an interview at E3 with Jordan Vaught Roberts, for however you say his name, the guy who directed Kong Skull Island, who is directing the Metal Gear Solid movie. This is going to be a thing, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Now, can Kojima not be involved in that?
It has nothing to do with Konami. Sony Pictures owns the rights, and he's very involved with Sony. So this is again feeding in all these stupid conspiracy theories and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony has the rights to the movie, even though Konami owns Metal Gear.
Wow.
But what he told Jordan Vaught Roberts, he said his advice to him when he was when he took on the director's role for Metal Gear Solid the movie was betray your audience. That's basically what Kojima's done his whole life with Metal Gear. He's like, oh, you thought you were going to play a Snake? Nope. That was Big Boss? You know, you're going back in time. Who are you? What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
We're making an Uncharted movie. You think you're playing as Nathan Drake? Nope, you're playing as little kid Nathan Drake.
Right.
I mean, it's not always a good thing.
No, it worries me. Again, Metal
but as
Gear,
long as if
they're going to do Metal Gear,
it
it should be a 10-part Netflix series is what it should be, not a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
And did you know, okay, back on topic, this remake was announced in 2015.
I remember rumors about it, but I don't remember it ever being confirmed.
That's what I thought too. Apparently it is official that they're officially working on it. Because that's where you're like, yeah, it might be one of my E3 predictions. I was thinking it might show up. And I was thinking, yeah, I've thought about that too. I had no idea it was an actual thing.
Yeah, I did not either.
Quick two more items here. Sega Forever was announced. Basically, Sega is releasing some of their old games on mobile. So far, they have announced, and these are free. They have released Sonic 1, Comic Zone, Kid Chameleon, Altered Beast, and it was Phantasy Star 2. That was one I couldn't think of. So these are all free on iOS and Android. You can pay like $2 if you don't want ads on them. I haven't downloaded them yet. I don't know if the ads...
can't imagine playing some of the like Sonic on a mobile.
No, Phantasy Star would make sense.
Yeah, RPGs work.
But Comic Zone and the way the combat is and that stuff.
Kid Chameleon, there's no.
I mean,
way.
Altered Beast maybe because that is so slow and plodding and just boring.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But when they announced this whole Sega Forever thing, they also showed the logos, images, or whatever for not just the Genesis, but Master System, Game Gear, Dreamcast, Saturn. So there's potential, Sega CD, and they said there is potential to bring some bigger, better, well, not bigger and better, but more powerful, whatever, the later games to this also. Yeah. But it all depends what they can do with emulation.
I mean, for free, I might check them out, but I just don't have very high hopes that they're going to be playable, really. But
I guess the big thing is it depends what engine they can recreate them in, because these Sonic and all this other stuff, they could easily do that in Unity, which Unity engine you can port that to anything. It's super simple. So it's a matter of if they can emulate the Saturn, the Dreamcast, and all that other stuff in Unity and get it to mobile, then that'll be part of it too. But if you miss out on any of these games, you don't have any other way to play it, go ahead and check it out. They're free. NPD results for May. The PS4 is back to number 1. Switch had been the highest selling console in the US for the past 2 months. PS4, once again, back to the top spot. Software results. Injustice 2 was the top selling game in May, which I was very surprised about. I know that game was big, but I played the first one and I just didn't, and I'm about not as big a DC fan as you can get, but about as big a Batman fan as you can get. And I didn't really like it. It was a free game December a couple years ago or something. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the controls. Maybe it's the reason. Like did you download the demo for Marvel Capcom Infinite?
I did, and I started playing it. I didn't really care for it. I started playing it, and then that was, I think it was last weekend when this like random, well, I guess not random, but this like crazy storm came through, and we like lost power, and it turned off. I'm like, I'm probably done with it. I'm probably not going to go back and play it at this point.
I don't know if that's how these games have always controlled, where it's just light punch and hard punch. Not 3 punches and 3 kicks. I don't know. I didn't really like it, but Injustice was number 1. Number 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Shout out to them. Number 3, of course, because it's never going to die, Grand Theft Auto 5. We're into territory here, like with Valve. There's no reason for Rockstar to ever make Grand Theft Auto 6. And all the money they keep pulling in online. But they have said they're going to shut Grand Theft Auto Online down at some point. They're not afraid to do that, which boggles my mind. There's people out there that's probably spent hundreds of dollars in shark cards and stuff to get in-game money and buy, like I showed you, this motorcycle, the motorcycle that can fly thing now.
Yeah.
If it didn't take up like 65 gigs on my hard drive, I'd probably still have it installed just for every once in a while to play it. Number 4, Breath of the Wild hanging in there. Prey, number 5. Ghost Recon Wildlands, number 6. Fire Emblem Echoes, number 7. 2K17 was 8. MLB 17 The Show was 9. And Overwatch was 10. I'm happy to see Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still way up there. But it makes sense because when you think about it, even though it was the number 1 selling title for April, that was just the 28th and the 29th. It didn't even include the 30th. So that was 2 days. So now you had people that actually got to buy it after those first 2 days. It makes sense. It's way up there at the top. But shout out to DC and WB and Injustice 2. I didn't think it would sell that well, but people were stoked for that game. I know Nick's loving it. Nick Shafani, not my Nick, but hashtag not my Nick. Oh, God. That's really it for the news of the week. Sean, do you like this table?
I do like this table.
You know what else I like?
What else do you like?
I like it when it's time to play the It's the back of the box challenge. If
Somebody was off there.
I'm guessing it was me.
I don't think it was me.
If you didn't know, the Back of the Box Challenge is how we end the podcast here every week on the Two Player Co-op podcast. What this game is we look at a previously released retail version of a game. We read the back of that box aloud to the other player, bleep out any pertinent information to make it too obvious or give the game away. Then the other player gets to ask some follow-up questions that can only be answered in a yes or no to try to see if they can figure out what the game is. And that is the Back of the Box Challenge. That's what we're going to do now. I go first because I know you read first last time because two crude bad dudes was second.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, nobody won Powerball last night. That's awesome. I mean, well, all that means is it means I didn't miss out by not playing. All right, ready?
Yes.
Big Apple crime is rotten to the core. Now, there's only one way to keep the peace. To keep the police. The blank of the blank. Introducing the
back of the box.
Yes. The game is the back of the box. Introducing the deadliest fighting skills the game world has ever seen. 10 awesome powers including blank. And blank. and blank. Because these will all give it away. That's it.
I feel like I got nothing.
Oh, I forgot to read the very first two sentences. For every crime, there's punishment. For every vice, there's vengeance.
I don't even read it again. I feel like I got nothing.
Big Apple crime is rotten to the core. Now, there's only one way to keep the peace. The blank of the blank. Introducing the deadliest fighting skills the game world has ever seen. 10 awesome powers, including blank, blank, and blank. Okay.
Is this an 8-bit game?
Yes.
Is it an action game?
Yes.
Is it a part of a series?
I don't believe so.
Did we own this game?
Yes.
Would we remember it fondly?
Very. Get comfortable, Sean. Let me see what else can I read to you here.
So it's an action game. Do you use guns?
No.
So it's like beat 'em up?
Would probably qualify as...
I mean, not beat 'em up, but...
Yeah, I mean, melee combat.
Right, as opposed to like... Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a Konami game?
Nope.
Capcom?
Nope.
First party?
Nope.
Is it... Crap. Is it a well-known game company?
They're not still in business, but you would remember it from back in the day. I'll say that. I thought you were going to get this in like 2 seconds. Now that probably gave it away.
Is it a licensed game?
No.
Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Is it a 2-player game?
No. Nope, it's 1 player only. Honestly, I thought we were both going to pick the same game this week, and I'm glad we didn't.
I have no idea. Is it side-scrolling?
Yes.
Is it...
Let me see if the UK cover has a better description. Nope, it's the exact same. One of the powers I bleeped out was Fire Ring.
Fire Ring.
Is that what it's called? Let me see here. Art of Fire Ring, yes.
Oh.
Yup. Just
It's
say
Wrath of the Black Manta.
Yes, it is.
Oh, God. Okay.
The Way of the Ninja was what I bleeped out.
Yeah.
The powers were Art of Invisibility, Art of Fire Ring, Art of Teleportation.
Yeah, I remember those.
Gosh.
Do you remember...
The company was Taito.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but whenever I think of this game, I think of this.
Black Manta or...
Yeah. Have you seen what the Black Manta, I guess he's the good guy, what he looks like? I mean, it's in the game, what he looks like when he takes his mask off.
Oh, gosh. I'll remember it when I see it, but I can't think of it now.
Come on. It's hilarious. Come on, be one of the first images. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
This game's awesome.
Black Manta? I don't know that it's awesome.
Oh,
But
I love this game.
we did own it, right? Right? Okay. What the hell? What in the world? He's got an afro and a
He
weird...
looks like a
He looks like
60-year-old woman.
Reggie Feels and Me. Save that and email me that so I can insert it somewhere here. Oh my God. That's amazing.
It's like, it almost looks like they had a different face in there and then they decided they couldn't use it and they just like Microsoft Paint. Like,
He's like, hey.
copy pasted that face.
Oh God,
over.
yes. Please save that picture and send it to
I'm
me.
texting it to you now.
All right, I'll mail it to myself. That's hilarious. Oh God.
That's what I always think of when I think of this. But I think that game is awesome.
I think it was good. The sprites were huge for a console game. That would have been normal on like a Game Boy game where they take up the whole screen. But the Black Manta, you were
And like the
big.
boss fights.
Yeah. Well, yeah. God, I forgot about that. And then yeah,
Oh God, I want to play this game again.
that's awesome. All right, I need to say that. All right, you're up, or I'm up.
Okay.
Oh, I hope I remember to insert that. If not, just I'll tweet it or something.
Blank to the rescue.
Is that the name of the character?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's an action. Jump to the rescue. Fly to the rescue.
No, it's closer to the former.
Okay.
The main attractions at the library's blank exhibit have come to life.
Oh. Okay, keep going.
As the blank, go back in time and blank an encyclopedia of blank her historic dudes. Vaporize garbage can blanks and ninja blanks. Rescue bug-eyed librarians and wigged-out pirates. What? Dodge flying books and adolescent eating plants. And ultimately put the beastly blank back in the history books.
Is the name of this game Two People?
No.
Okay. So Joe and Mac was actually
It's not Joe and
set
Mac.
back in the day. Okay.
2-player cooperative mode lets you team up for a double dose of blank adventure. Blank full of enemies, including blank knights, blank samurais, and blank automobiles.
Wait. Automobiles are an enemy?
Yes. A potent potpourri of power-ups to collect, including rubber chickens and magic potions.
All right. Do you play as a human?
Yes.
All right. It's not.
Cool weapons to use, from plasma rifles to suction cup arrows.
Is this an 8-bit game?
No.
16.
Yes.
Is that a console exclusive?
Let me see. Yes.
Did we own it?
No.
Is it a Super Nintendo exclusive?
Yes.
Is this a Konami game?
I think so.
Is it played from a top-down perspective?
Yes.
Do you shoot water guns?
I don't know if you do in this one.
Is it Ghoul Patrol?
It is.
It is?
Wow, you got it. Everything I was bleeping out was like spirits and ghosts and goblins and zombies. And like,
I had no idea that was the plot, but I'm like, God, this just sounds... When you said the suction cup thing and stuff, I'm like, what would weird... And I knew it was not Zombies Ate My Neighbors because I've looked that up before for this.
Yeah.
But Ghoul Patrol. So when you look at the pictures, that does it looks like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, right?
Kinda. I mean, it looks like it plays like zombies,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit on the episode
I literally
75.
don't think until not this episode, but this podcast, I don't think I ever knew that this was a thing.
Yeah. I don't
And
think
I've
I knew it
certainly
back
never
in the day.
played it.
I bet that didn't sell like even 50,000 copies because I don't think many people played it. And it's super rare now. That cart is super expensive.
Really?
Yep.
I'd like to play it. I'm sure it'd be fun, but
Yeah.
is it Konami?
It's Konami, yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought, but I don't see it on here anywhere. So maybe they didn't
It's
do
Konami.
the sequel.
No, they did it.
I
pretty
literally
sure
all
they
I see
did.
is LucasArts and
Yeah, there was no Ultra games back
JVC
then.
for some reason.
Well, then it was probably JVC. That's weird. I wonder if they sold the rights to it. That
They
makes me
must
worried
have.
about it popping up on the SNES Classic. Another one of my E3 predictions I got wrong was Zombies Ate My Neighbors coming back. That was dumb.
I don't even remember you making that.
Yeah, it was my last one. I was like, whatever. Because I didn't want to predict Metroid because I thought you were going to predict Metroid. And then you kind of predicted Metroid, but really you predicted F-Zero.
But I kind of predicted it.
You got a quarter point. You won a quarter point to 0, so it doesn't really matter. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. This has been episode 80 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button down there. Hit that subscribe button over there. Share the video with your friends. We're trying to grow and expand onward and upward. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you didn't know, we are part of the Nerd 901 family. Go to nerd901.com for all things nerdy in Memphis and around the globe. I got to remember where to insert the black mana. Wow. That took a weird turn. Go to nerd901.com for all things nerdy in Memphis and around the globe. While you're there, check out the Pixels and Papers podcast. Our buddies over there, they specialize in RPGs and tabletop games. They've been doing some actual plays here the last few weeks. And if you're into that stuff, you're going to love it. Those guys are awesome. Derek and Ernie, check them out. Obviously on Twitter, you can find us. I'm at Kevin White 24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. If you're watching this, either you're watching it at Nerd 901 or you're watching it at YouTube. But either way, make sure you go to youtube.com/2player co-op. And like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Do you like audio, Sean?
I do.
I like audio too. If you like audio podcasts, you can check us out on podcast services around the world, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and other services around the globe. And of course, we do have a Facebook page that we never update. Facebook.com/2player-co-op gaming. Go there, give us a like. We really appreciate it. That's been it for episode 80, I believe. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, things might be crazy, but at some point, we'll be back for episode 81. Hopefully, it'll be next week. If not, the week after or something. Just, you know where to find us. But thank you guys so much for being here. And until that time. Actually, no, wait. Come back Friday.
Oh, yes.
The first ever Friday show. I feel like Tim Geddes. The first ever episode 120 of the Kind of Funny Games cast. Thank you guys so much for being here. Come back, check us out on Friday. And until that time, Sean, you can take us out.
Thank you for playing.
Oh! You even saw it! It was like the whole screen turned white.
I had a second one in case that didn't go well.
High five.
Best
that was
ever.
Awesome. That
nailed it.
You need to retire it because you can't do better than that because it literally
now.
the whole screen turned white.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Bye, guys.